If you're Puerto Rican, you should know who this is. Rafael Hernandez Marin was a musician from Aguadilla. In 1917, while working as a musician in North Carolina, the United States entered World War I. At the time, African-American composer James Europe was looking for black musicians to play the clarinet for the military. But Rafael Hernandez and his brother not only played the clarinet, but they also played the tuba, the guitar, and several other different instruments, at least 3 or 4 of various different types. Lieutenant Europe ended up recruiting them, and they ended up going to Europe to play with his band. But Lieutenant Europe ended up recruiting about 15 more Puerto Rican people because they were citizens and were good at the instruments they played. And that group ended up becoming the Harlem Hellfighters. Nearly half of the men that were part of this history-making group of musicians were of Puerto Rican descent, and that included Rafael Hernandez. After serving in the military and moving back to Puerto Rico, Rafael penned the song Preciosa. It caught the ear of the governor, who wanted to make it the national anthem of the island. But because of one line, they decided not to, because it was seen as a slight at the colonial power of the United States. And today, Rafael Hernandez has an airport and several schools in Puerto Rico, New York, and New Jersey named after him. Puerto Rican culture and history is not complete unless we are talking about this man, Noriega. N-O-R-E. This man single-handedly made reggaeton music relevant in the United States in the early 2000s. And I don't see anybody talking about it. He was born Victor Santiago Jr. in Queens, New York. He gets his Puerto Rican heritage from his father's side of the family. Now, if you're around my age or a little bit older, you probably know him from the group Capone Noriega from the 90s, the mid to late 90s. But he branched out and he started doing his own thing, and he started recording music in Spanish and started representing his Puerto Rican identity and his heritage more. And he came out with the song Oye Mi Canto. Now, this song had some heavy hitters. It was around the time where Daddy Yankee came out with Gasolina, Nina Sky, Big Mato. It was number 12 on the Billboard Top 100, number 8 on the Billboard Rap charts, number 22 on the Billboard Latin charts. But it was the first reggaeton video to be featured on MTV and BET. This man does not get enough credit for what he did for the culture. If you are Puerto Rican, you should know who this man is. This is Tite Alonso Curet. For 20 years in Puerto Rico, he worked at the post office. But the fire to write music was always inside him. And he ended up writing the song Efectivamente, which became a hit. That he ended up on the radar of Celia Cruz, La Lupe, Hector Lavoe, Ruben Blades, and many other salsa artists. In total, he wrote over 2,000 salsa songs, most of them becoming hits. And he used his talents to celebrate the blackness of Puerto Rico.
Papi exaltaba mucho a la gente negra.
Oftentimes using his talents to talk about the displacement of Black Puerto Ricans and the systemic oppression that they went through. Because of bad contracts, Tite ended up signing deals that mostly benefited record labels. And for over a decade, his music was banned from the radios of Puerto Rico due to copyright laws. In 2003, Tite died of a massive heart attack while in Maryland. His body was laid in state in Puerto Rico, and today he's celebrated through this statue.